Hey!
Hey, hi.
Welcome to the Natasha and Debbie show.
Hello.
That's brutal. Just two patriotic girls, so please don't take us the wrong way.
Hi.
Hey everybody,
Welcome to the Natasha and Debbie show.
it is Wednesday. Thank you for being here. Hope you guys had a lovely Easter with your families, your friends, whoever the heck you spend it with.
How was your Easter?
Well, I mean, you tell me, you were there.
I think you enjoyed it.
I did enjoy it very much. As always, Debbie cooks amazing foods and did a great brunch for us. One of those items was actually posted to Patreon.
Yes,
We took time during Easter and recorded one of the food items she made, which was super cool. Was the hash brown and egg cup.
Yes.
They look like little bird's nests. Super cute for Easter, but also
Not just for Easter.
Yeah.
For any time of the year.
a great brunch addition to your brunch. That sounded odd.
I'll make it again.
I will eat it again gladly.
Good.
Anyway, before we get going, guys, please hit like if you like the content that we provide for you. It does help us a lot. And also consider subscribing to the channel. But please, 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 please don't do that just because we ask you to. Debbie, why is that?
Please check out some of our other content to make sure you want to be a part of our channel before you subscribe.
Yes. And we want to thank everyone over at Patreon. We love our patrons dearly. You guys help us more than you have any idea. You help us with a lot of things. So thank you so much. There's exclusive content. We just mentioned some of the cooking stuff that Debbie does. We do videos outside of the UK stuff, bonus videos, all kinds of cool stuff over there. So if you've never checked out our Patreon, give it a check. Take a look, see what you think. Join it if you want. All the great stuff. And again, thank you to all our patrons. We absolutely love you guys to death.
Yes, we do.
So today's video
Yes, today.
is perfect for the season. Yeah, spring came last month, but did it really?
Officially.
Did it really come last month? I mean, come on.
I don't know. We had snow yesterday.
We had snow yesterday, and I'm sure parts of the United Kingdom have too. So,
Right.
but this weekend here, and it's specifically here in Cincinnati, Ohio, it's going to be not just spring, it's going to be like summer weather.
It's actually going to feel like
It's going to be hot.
It's going to feel like summer.
Yes.
Like you said.
Yes. So we're getting some warm weather. Finally, the flowers are blooming. The trees have leaves again. Things are coming back to life.
It's right. It's nice. It's beautiful. I love seeing everything sprout up.
You know what else is sprouting up? My allergies.
Definitely your
The hay
allergies.
fever, all that fun stuff. So that's also sprouting. That's how you know it's spring. But we thought this would be the perfect video. This just popped up the other day. It's from our guy, Lawrence, over at Lost in the Pond. We love him. He teaches us so many things, and it's 4 ways British and American springtime is very different.
Yeah.
And I have absolutely no idea what's different about our springtime versus your springtime. So that's why we decided to take a look at this one.
I don't know what could be different. I mean, spring is spring. I mean, things all out. Grass starts growing. Trees start budding.
Budding? Not a word
Everybody
I
starts
typically use.
fighting weeds.
Everybody what's the weeds?
Starts fighting weeds.
Fighting weeds?
Yeah.
I
Controlling your
just
weeds.
pictured people outside with a sword. Sorry. Give me your weed. Like having a hand-to-hand combat. Cha! We'll get this weed out. I'm going to do that now.
Please do.
Patreon
So I can
episode. Anyway, so we're going to find out. Let's see if you guys know this stuff. If we can learn something together. That's the whole purpose of our channel. Learning. So let's learn some stuff about the difference between spring here and spring there.
Hello,
Whoa.
I'm Lawrence, and I'm on a quest
Hi,
to
Lawrence.
uncover all of the memos that Britain and America lost in the pond, and one of those memos pertains to the seasons of the Earth, specifically springtime. Springtime is happening right now. It's a
Indeed.
beautiful time when life begins again, when we get to
I
observe the
love
birds
roses.
and the bees, and that's not a euphemism, Uncle Toby. And it's a time that both of our countries know very well, because in Britain and America and the entire Northern Hemisphere, the season of spring lasts from March the 20th through June the 21st. But aside from this common adherence to the vernal equinox, there are also a lot of differences in how springtime plays out in both Britain and America. I mean, of course...
For example, that castle he just showed. That's a difference between springtime here and there. Sorry. I'll stop.
There are, otherwise why would this video exist? And so while you sit back and chomp on America's second finest British import, Cadbury Mini Eggs, let America's finest British import tell you all about these differences. Let me
Spring break.
start by telling you a story. When I studied at Lancaster University in England 20 years ago, there were a lot of American students. This was my first real introduction to Americans in a social setting. They talked a lot about this thing called spring break, as in, Lawrence, what are your plans for spring break, but in an American accent? Well, I don't really have any. I'll probably just go home, visit the parents, overdo it on the mini eggs as usual. You? I don't know, I might backpack around Europe, or visit France or Italy, meet the Pope, you know. And it occurred to me,
I love his American accent. I didn't know he had it in him. Literally and figuratively. That was an epic American accent. I don't know what region that was. That was odd, but so he hasn't said it yet, but do you guys not have spring break? Because I'm confused by this.
They must not.
I think they do. It's just different. All right, let's rewind that 5 seconds.
pack around Europe or visit France or Italy, meet the Pope, you know. And it occurred to me that American students treated spring break with way more intensity than us Brits.
Okay,
like
so it's
every
still
one
there.
of them wanted to go on holiday/vacation. And for us, it's not that we don't do those things, but we just don't feel we have to. And there might be a good reason as to why this is. You see, I found out that in America, colleges only give students about 1 to 2 weeks of holiday time in spring. Meaning that, I don't know, American students feel more compelled to cram in as much excitement as possible with so little time.
Yeah.
Which is amazing, because in Britain we get about twice that amount. And, you know, I don't mean to gloat, but it's very rare that things are bigger in Britain. But at the university level, they are. My American wife was shocked to find that at Lancaster we got 4 weeks. Oh, and also in Britain, we don't really call it spring break. There it's known as the Easter holidays.
Hold
the
up.
That's nice.
Hold up. You get 4 weeks of spring break time in college.
Easter holiday.
Easter, what do you call it? Easter holiday time?
Easter holiday.
Those are two different things that totally confuse my brain. So when I think of spring break, I think of being in high school.
Mm-hmm.
And I think most Americans probably do that as well. Do I
School
speak for us, America?
High school
You're like,
and college.
Yeah. Well, so yeah. So, but like in high school, like my senior year, I went to Los Angeles, which was something I don't talk about anymore. But yeah, so you definitely, we don't have a whole lot of time on spring break. It's usually like, what is it, 2 weeks? I thought it was 2 weeks. Is it 1 week?
It's usually 1 week.
Okay. I haven't been in school in a long time. I don't know. I don't remember.
But then it also depends on when Easter falls, because if Easter falls early, then spring break and Easter are put together.
Yeah.
And anymore, well, at least this year, Easter's later. So then the kids had a spring break, went back to school for a week or two, and then they get extra days off at Easter.
That's correct. Yeah. But we still don't get 4 weeks like you do.
No, not nearly that
Okay.
much.
Jealous there a little bit. Then again, I'm not in school, so this really doesn't affect me at all. But it would have, and I would have been mad if I'd known this then.
I'll just take the holiday.
Yeah, we'll take that.
It's gonna be
Alrighty.
vacation time.
Let's get into what he's about to get into here, which is the weather.
The holidays was usually the time that I experienced some of my favourite weather. I'm not all about extremely hot climates and certainly not extremely cold ones, Chicago. British springtime is reasonably dry and usually mild, with
Really?
spring temperatures averaging in the 40s or 50s.
Hold up. Did he just say British springtime is reasonably dry?
I think that's what he said.
How is that possible? I mean, it's not here. This is when it's the rainiest time of the year. At least in Cincinnati, Ohio, the Midwest. It's a rainy season of all
Typically.
the time. And it's tornado season, too. April
Yes.
especially is tornado season here where we live. It's where the most scary storms come from. But, yeah, that surprises me
Mm-hmm.
to hear it's what?
Well, I guess they could have a dry season.
I mean, typically April here where we live can be just rain every day.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we can have all of April can just be nothing but rain. So that's surprising to me to hear that that's one of the drier times. Let me rewind that back a little bit.
Dry and usually mild, with spring temperatures averaging in the 40s or 50s Fahrenheit,
Interesting.
American audience. And in America, there are in fact some places that experience similar mildness, I don't know the
I
word,
wouldn't either.
including right here in Chicago, but more accurately the Pacific Northwest, where spring temperatures get wildly different from Britain, are on the south coast in places like Florida, where spring averages are between 65 and 75 degrees, hence why all the students go there.
Exactly.
On the other hand, the statewide average for springtime temperatures in the state of Alaska is approximately 25 degrees Fahrenheit.
No one's going
which
to
is
Alaska.
roughly Chicago's average in January. One thing that is partly dictated by the climate of our countries is the blooming flowers, as in flowers that bloom, not as in a euphemism for the word bloody. And today I want to specifically talk about wildflowers, because during my first spring in the United States, I was amazed to discover that Britain and America shared some of the same wildflowers. And you might be thinking, ooh, Lawrence, this is meant to be a video about British and American springtime differences, not similarities. Well, hold your seahorses, because while there are some similarities between British and American wildflowers, those similarities are different, and I realise that doesn't make any sense. No. But it will if you pay attention. Growing up in Britain, long before I became a certified YouTube sensation, there were just certain wildflowers that would poke out of the ground in spring that you would see and occasionally eat when you were sick and bored. And for me, the ones that immediately spring to mind are as follows. Firstly, common bluebells, and you have to be very careful about how you spell that. This is a well-known wildflower in Britain, but not so in the United States. Oh, hold up there, Lawrence. Of course we have bluebells here. Yeah, but common bluebells aren't native to the United States. They were introduced by Europeans. However, there is a type of bluebell that is native to the United States, and that is the Virginia bluebell, which is not to be found outside of North America, which is why some people call it the freedom bluebell. At least that's what I call it. Nobody else calls it. And then there's the common dandelion, and you see these everywhere in Britain. And when I was a child, I was told that if you sniff them, you'd wee the bed. I think that was a lie started by parents everywhere. And while the common dandelion, which emerges in springtime, is native to Britain, it did not exist in the United States until the 17th century, when it was brought here by European settlers.
What?
No.
What?
Holding.
What?
I can't believe this. I fight those things in the yard.
All right, United Kingdom, we have a problem here. What?
You can come get your dandelions back out my yard.
I'll be right back. Hang on a minute. Okay, these were just the easiest ones to grab that were just right out the door, because there's a gajillion. You can have these back. Who do we mail these back to?
Right, let's mail them back.
Who do we mail these back to? Take them back.
Don't want your dandelions.
Why did you do this to us? Not fair. Here's a story for you guys. I'm sure you'll care about this. My poor dad had to eat this because of you people. No, my dad grew up in Kentucky in a very poor environment, and he was one of like 14 kids. And he told me the story many times when I was younger. He would see his mom go out and pick dandelions, and he'd be all upset, like, oh no, because he knew that's what they were going to be eating. They had no money. And so she would put this in a big pot and boil it, and that's what they ate. Basically like a dandelion broth. They
don't even taste good.
Try it.
I did that as a kid. And
you did? I did not. Yeah. Oh God, I've never done that. But no, dandelion is really great for a lot of things. But at the same time, we didn't need the weeds, guys.
No.
I am shocked by this.
Keep your plant.
I am shocked by that, because there's so many of them everywhere that's like, you brought those here, you did this to us.
They're going crazy.
I was about to say, what did we ever do to you? Then I'm going to leave that alone. Yeah. See what I'm doing there? Leave it alone.
Leave it alone.
But I would like it. I would like an address where we can mail all of our dandelions. It'll be a very large shipping crate.
Might need our own container.
All right, let's get back in this video. That's just mind-blowing to me.
I know.
I mean, dandelions.
I've always thought they were like Native American plants, but
clearly they're not. That's so crazy. And they just, whatever. We won't even get on the bird thing. I won't even go there. That's a whole other topic. Let's rewind that 5 seconds, so I can get mad again.
States until the 17th century, when it was brought here by European settlers who valued it for its medicinal purposes. Sadly, somebody forgot to tell them that it's also an invasive species, which can only account for why America later gave Britain the grey squirrel.
We got you back with the grey squirrel. Yeah, you don't like the grey squirrels? Guess what? Payback. Payback. I forgot that we gave you the gray squirrel. Someone on our Facebook channel told us that.
And the squirrels are naughty. They have eaten every strand of lights that we have.
Oh, yeah. They kind of ruined our backyard recently. So
we hung trees up in the light out there.
So, you know what? You give to us, we give back to you in the form of a gray squirrel. You are welcome. It's only fair, right?
I wonder what else we've traded.
Probably. That would be a fun video. Tons. Ooh, if anyone could find us a video on something like that, that would be awesome. All right, rewind 5 seconds.
species, which can only account for why America later gave Britain the grey squirrel. Basically, most of the major wildflowers that I grew up with in Britain seem to have been introduced to the United States by Europeans. The same is true with woodland forget-me-nots, and
Really?
even the English daisy, which leads to one question: how did American children make bracelets before this? I have to say, I absolutely loved springtime in Britain, especially when certain animals would come out of hibernation. And no, I'm not talking about me, although that is valid. No, I'm talking about, for example, hedgehogs.
Yeah, we don't have
I loved
hedgehogs.
hedgehogs because every spring and summer they would appear in my back garden, and they had the same haircut that I did.
That's him.
It also helped that I was a massive fan of Sonic the Hedgehog too. And I just imagine that since Sonic the Hedgehog is a huge game and now movie franchise in the United States, that hedgehogs would be all the rage over here.
No.
And it turns out they're not native to the United States. I haven't seen a single hedgehog in about 15 years.
Oh, come on,
And
man.
in
We have hedgehogs. People have them as pets, though. We don't have them. They're not running around.
Wild running around.
Yeah, no, we don't.
That's crazy. I wonder if they have groundhogs. We have groundhogs.
Do you guys have groundhogs?
Maybe the hedgehog is the groundhog.
I don't think they have
The
groundhogs.
groundhog is the
No,
hedgehog.
I know they don't because someone on Facebook said they don't have groundhogs. I also know you don't have chipmunks.
Chipmunks. Oh,
And I was
somebody come
shocked
get
to hear that
chipmunks.
one. Yeah, you can come pick up our entire family of chipmunks that live underneath our bathroom.
Yeah.
And our deck.
Yeah.
I was
In
trying
the
to film
backyard.
one for you guys and put it over on Facebook or something one day. We have this whole family. I think they're adorable. They do cause a lot of damage though when they dig tunnels and canals and stuff essentially
And
underneath
we have
your...
moles too. Do you guys have moles?
We just need a whole video on what
And
do you
then-
have and what do we have.
And then I had a client that told me there's not only a mole, but also, that sounded weird, also something called a vole.
A vole?
VOLE. There's
I've
two of
never heard
them.
of it.
They look pretty much the same. Just one eats one thing and the other eats something else.
Hmm.
So, curious.
Interesting. All right, let's get back at this. 5 seconds.
United States, I haven't seen a single hedgehog in about 15 years. And in springtime, usually around April, is when European badger cubs, the cutest
Yeah,
things you've
our
ever
badgers
seen,
don't look like that.
first say hello to the world.
Okay, your English badgers are adorable.
Kind of cute.
They're super cute. They don't look like ours. Oh, he's probably good. I hope he shows one.
Not
Please,
mean,
please show
but
ours.
He's cute.
World. And it would be
Let me rewind
badger
that.
cubs, the cutest things you've ever
They are
seen.
cute.
First say hello to the world. And it would be untrue to
He's
say
gonna
that
show one.
badgers don't exist in the United States. Except they're not European badgers, they're American badgers. And the difference between the two badgers
Show it.
is subtle and at the same time really stark.
Yes.
Because the American badger
Oh.
closely resembles some
What
sort
is
of
it?
hell demon. We wouldn't think
They're all mean with the open mouth.
He called it a hell demon. You hear it? Listen. Listen to what he
I
said.
did.
Listen to what he said.
because the American badger closely resembles some sort of hell demon that wouldn't think twice about destroying you and your friends.
Oh.
The American badger resembles a hell demon. That does look horrendous. But I was saying, ours are not cute. Now, I've never personally seen one.
Me neither. Never personally run into one.
I don't know what
So,
part of the country they're in, but I don't think they're cute.
You don't know where he's running into a badger.
In Chicago? Yeah, I don't think he is. I don't think he's running into any badgers in Chicago.
The zoo.
Tyson's looking at me like, I want to run into a badger. But yeah, they're horrendous. Did you see yours? Then look at ours.
No, I know.
You got the cute ones. We got
All
the,
cute,
like you said,
fluffy.
that does look like a hell demon.
And shows our.
Yeah, that's pretty terrifying. We should give you those and trade back to the dandelion. I don't think the squirrel is good enough.
Right.
Let's get back into this.
And the biggest difference between both countries' emerging animals at this time of year seems to be how worrying they are for humans.
Yeah.
So while Britain sees the emergence of toads, frogs, chiffchaffs, cuckoos, and
What?
a number of
Chiffchaffs?
largely
What?
harmless insects, America just wheels out black bears for fun, and mosquitoes that bite your face off,
Yes.
and black widow spiders that look like they were the
Mosquitoes are horrible.
brainchild of Dr. Robotnik. Now, disclaimer, it is very rare that you see these animals, but that's what
Right.
makes them frightening.
He left out snakes. How many snakes we have? I know you guys have snakes. Please do not leave in the comments about the snakes.
We know you have 3 snakes.
We know you have 3 snakes. We know the poisonous snake is the black adder snake because we've gotten more comments on that than any other comment on any other video and like a gajillion times. But we also know that you don't see them very often, if at all. But we have a ton of snakes. We've already seen one this year, and I almost burnt our house down. It wasn't in the house. Oh,
No,
God.
it was outside.
You know, I hate snakes with a passion. But he
And-
left out the snakes.
And least in our area, most are non-poisonous.
I don't care if they're poisonous or not. They're
I know you
evil.
don't care.
They're evil and they're gross.
But the mosquitoes, my goodness.
Yeah, especially in our area here in
Hasn't even
Cincinnati.
started yet.
Mosquitoes are awful. They haven't started yet. They're more of a summer thing, not a spring thing here. But especially in our backyard is like a mosquito breeding ground. You can't go out there sometimes.
Everywhere.
It's just
everywhere.
It's awful. It's awful.
Nick. Now, disclaimer, it is very rare that you see these animals, but that's what makes them frightening. I could open my cupboard and there could be a black bear eating ice cream for all I know. It hasn't happened yet, but I have ordered a suit of armour. Just know that if you're a fan of both the spring and animals, your experience of both countries will be wildly different. I live in Chicago and I saw what I was told was a coyote. Ain't no one seeing that in Britain. That's it for this episode. Let me know in the comments below your favourite spring thing. I'm Lawrence Brown. You can follow me on Twitter at Lost in the Pod US. And don't forget to subscribe to my channels.
Well, thank you, Lawrence. I'm sad that was really short.
That was short.
Well, you guys have coyotes either? Okay, what do you have? What do you have? Like, we got all this. Yeah, we had 3 coyotes running the street behind our street. Just a couple years ago, we saw them at night, and we had to call our neighbor across the street who has 2 chihuahuas because she likes to take her dog out for walks late at night. We're like, stay inside.
There's always coyotes in the area.
Well, and sadly, they will kill small dogs. Yeah.
Never heard of anybody people getting hurt, but
yeah,
definitely small animals.
We actually have a friend that unfortunately her dog was killed by a coyote. And that was horrendous.
But that's crazy. You guys don't have coyotes. Obviously, you don't have bear. But he's talking like bear are seen everywhere. It's not everywhere.
You got to be in like foresty areas. Well, we had a black bear running around here in our city a couple years ago. He came out of nowhere and just kind of was like running around.
Yes, he came up from one of the southern states, followed the mountain range up, and then wandered off and ended up in our area. But that is totally.
But then he left.
Not typical. Didn't hurt anybody.
Yeah. Not typical of our area, but other areas. You go south a few hours and, you're going to see them. You're going to see them like all the time.
Watch your trash cans and get in there.
Yeah. And then we got like, that's just mind blowing to me. I didn't know about a lot of that stuff. He said 4 things, but that was a lot more than 4 things. I thought that was fascinating though. Like, especially, I mean, I'm still stuck on the whole like dandelion thing because it's such a pain in our butts. And to know that these weren't even something we would have had to deal with. Thanks, guys. Debbie hates them more than I. But like the bluebells and stuff like that, those are beautiful. And I wish that, I wonder if you guys, here's a question for you. So we personally don't do this. We don't fertilize our yard. For one, we have dogs and we're not going to put something in our yard that could potentially harm our dogs. So I'm not doing it. I don't like chemicals in the grass, so we don't do it. But everybody else fertilizes their yards, gets rid of the pretty little purple violets and different things that are wildflowers that grow. I think they're beautiful.
A lot of weed killers. Yeah,
a lot of weed killers and stuff. A lot of pesticides and things that I hate. But I wonder, do you guys do that there? Something tells me you probably don't, because I think you're smarter than that.
Mm-hmm.
I do. I think you guys are more intelligent than not do that. Yeah. And if you do, I'm sorry.
Because even though I hate these, I do not treat the yard for them.
No, we don't. We just
let them grow.
Let them grow and then cut them with a lawnmower. But I'm just curious if you guys do treat your yards and things like that too. Now, I do know that a lot of people we've talked to have said that you guys don't really have much. Well, you guys say garden. Sorry. Have much smaller gardens than we do. Mm-hmm. So I don't know how intrusive a lot of these things are for you, but I find a lot of those little flowers that Americans find to be weeds, I find them to be beautiful and very pretty, and I think that they should be left alone. So let me know about that, your thoughts. And did you learn something from this video? Because I'm still kind of shocked by a few of these things. And yeah.
Very interesting. I'm glad we did this, and I can't wait to learn more.
Yeah, a good time of the year to do it, for sure. But I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you did, please give us a like and consider subscribing to the channel. Let us know if you liked it, what you thought about it, anything you might have learned, some stuff maybe he forgot, maybe he didn't know, he left out, some differences there. I've said this a lot on our Facebook Live videos. The more we've learned about the United Kingdom, the more of the differences we've learned, the more we've really found the similarities.
Absolutely.
And that's what's been like the neatest thing to me is we are really so much alike, more than we even discuss.
Yeah, we're not that different.
We're really not. We see different things and stuff like that, but I think it's cool. The differences are really neat. I think they are. But from us here in Cincinnati, we want to just say again, thank you guys so much for watching. It means the world to us. Thanks over again to patrons on Patreon. But thanks so much for watching. We appreciate you being here. Really hope you enjoy the content we've been putting out for you guys, and hope that you're going to have a great weekend as well. And hopefully some warmer weather is coming to you as the same as it is for us.
So happy spring.
Happy spring, guys.
And until next time.
We'll see you then.
Bye.
Bye.